That is officially a new PB.
I'm well chuffed with this one. And let's hope.
I'm awfully nervous.
Nice fish.
At the end of 2020, we decided to do a big carp fishing trip with the hope of 1 or 2 new personal bests. This time I was joined by my girlfriend and my parents.
So, we're on our way to LiftCarp, almost there, but first, let's get to McDonald's.
So, good morning. Join me today at LiftCarp. It's now actually Monday morning. We are just over halfway of our session. Unfortunately, I didn't do much filming in the beginning, so I'll just give you a bit of a catch up. On Friday afternoon, just past 12, we left for a little adventure. My mom, my dad and my girlfriend. And yeah, it's been actually quite productive. Just before we got to the lake itself, it actually started to rain a little bit, so I didn't get any of the cameras out, didn't do any filming at all. We got camp set up and everything, and it was dark. Ended up taking my lines out in the darkness, well, some of them, at least the 3 rods for my parents. And as I took my own line out, I had a little O-light on the same cap, and I was busy trying to find the spot, just feeling the bottom. And as I turned around to make sure that I knew where I was going, the light flicked off my cap and it fell into the water. Now luckily it was only 2 meters deep, and the light went straight down, pointing upwards, and saw just a little halo. And after a few minutes of trying to get it with the lead, because it has a magnet at the back, or after failing, I had to dive in, get the light, came back up, fell again, so dive down again. Luckily got the light, managed to get it back. Then I dropped the line, dropped the rod, everything good on that same spot where I just had to dive in the water. Cool story about that, but we'll get back to that a bit later. So the next morning I decided to get all the lines out, got up quite early. Now at this point I still wasn't sure about if I'm going to film or anything. I actually went over to my parents because they are staying in one of the guest houses, well, one of the little chalets, house, whatever, and my girlfriend and I are staying in the bivvy. So I went over to get some ice from them. And while I was there, my girlfriend phoned me that she needed help. She's into a fish. So as you can imagine, I raced down this gravel road to get to her. Got here, and the line that she was busy with, the fish actually came off. The lead didn't eject, so it was stuck against the riverbed. So we got on the boat, went to fetch it, got the line out, everything. As we were going out, we heard an alarm sound. Heard a few beeps. Now at this point I'm thinking, no, we might have hooked another line. So we went there, got the line, it picked up, and I could feel it was snagged onto something. Got to the spots and it picked up another line. So I thought that was the rod that was beeping, because it's the same color line that's on one of the rods. So I just unhooked it, came back. As we got out the boat, the right hand rod just melted off. That was her fish to catch, and she managed to break a new PB with stunning common of 13.8 kilos. So that's really awesome, really proud of her, managing to get that, almost having a double take on her own. So that was quite excellent. Unfortunately, I didn't get much video footage of that. At least I did get a nice photo. After that fish, took the lines back out, and then it was really quiet for the rest of the day, with no bites coming in at all. The following morning at just past 5, woke up to a couple of beeps on one of her rods, and the line just went completely sack. So I picked up into it and was on for a few seconds. Woke up Monique, and she came, she was busy playing it, and unfortunately that fish came off once again later than I checked. So I'm just telling myself that it was a kerper or something, because you can get quite depressed losing a fish here at this particular venue. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. It's part of it, eh? I actually left that rod a bit because there's 2 other rods on that same spot. And not too long after that, it was about 9 o'clock, there were some people swimming on the opposite bank. Now most of the rods are going to that side, and the people that were swimming were, I'm sure they were 5 meters away from my spots. So I went with the boat. I just asked them if they could just swim a bit more to the right hand side, because otherwise they might pick up one of the lines, and they had no problem, they moved. So I came back with the boat. On my way back, I just checked up and down some of the likely looking areas if I wanted to move a spot maybe, and I was probably 20 meters away from the bank, and then my rod exactly there where the people were swimming ripped off. Like once again, Monique had to go and she had to pick up the rod and put the boat to full speed. Got to the side, she handed me the rod, and I was in. It actually came in straight into the bank. It was probably in knee depth water, if that much, and luckily my dad scooped it in, almost giving me a heart attack. I don't know why I always get very stressed out with my dad as nets a fish, don't know why, but yeah, luckily did a good job, got the fish in the net, and I managed a new personal best of 41 pounds, so really happy with that.
Look at that, and that is officially a new PB, weighing out 41 pounds. Almost got away. It's actually crazy. There were people swimming on the opposite bank probably 5 minutes before this fish went. I actually went on the boat to ask them to please swim on a different side, as my rods are lying there. And so on my way back with the boat, and this one went off. Look at that, 41 pounds. Finally joining the 40 pound club. Not so bad. Second morning, still some time to go. We're really happy with this. Whole family super chuffed. Let's get some photos and get him back. Days is drawing on now. Still need to get that rod back out. Didn't take it back immediately because I still had another rod there as well, so I didn't want to chase any fish away that was there, so I'm going to get ready to do that. But I haven't done much filming for this trip because I wasn't expecting it to kick off quite as early, so let's get some filming done.
Because of the size of the spot I was placing my rig, the wind and boat traffic would make it very difficult to drop the rig accurately. And when fishing a place like this, where your rig could be in the water for a few days, accurate rig placement is vital. So I tied up a fresh rig and waited for the wind to calm down. To be honest, I made a bit of a schoolboy error and I didn't cook enough particles. So fortunately I had to wait and first cook some particles, but I wasn't too stressed about it because the bite time seems to be between 6 and about 10 o'clock, and then it just dies to death. So got the essential angling particles cooked. Thank you so much guys for sending me all those particles and the leads, everything. But finally the wind has calmed down a bit, so let's get that rod out just before the sun sets, and hopefully there's a chance of another one tomorrow morning. Let's
Cross our fingers, though. Cross our fingers.
And let's hope
It pays good in the end.
Managed to get the rod back out for the night. Unfortunately, still nothing happened. And that brings us to today. So last night we did have a little bit of drizzle. Thought it was going to start raining, but there's some clouds, not much. So to be honest, I think it's going to be a bit of a scorcher again today. It's going to be quite hot. It's now just about 6:30. Let's hope there's another bite on the cards. We are still in bite time. For now, I'm going to get into the shade and out of the sun, and my fingers crossed. And let's see what happens.
Because I was actually just sitting in a tent and I had this rod gave 1 or 2 bleeps, so I thought it was one of the other rods, one of those rods there that had a line up because of the wind and the waves. And when I saw it was this rod, gave just 1 or 2 bleeps and the bobbin was a bit slack. So I just put some tension on the line and it kept on going slack very slowly. So I thought it was the guy on the opposite bank busy trying to catch some bass that maybe hooked it. And as I was trying to bring in the sinker, all of a sudden the sinker pulled back and I'm attached to a fish. There we go, in the net. Not the biggest one, but it does look to be a lovely pot belly. So let's get the hook out, get the rig crack, and then lose him first, and then we get some photos of it. Oh, there's the hook out. Oh, his face does not look good. So, here we go. What a lovely little pot belly, just over 12 kilos. And first one for the day. Well, it seems to be a bite a day at the moment, so I was getting quite worried when 9 o'clock came, 10 o'clock came, and luckily just after 11 got this fish. So let's slip him back and hopefully we can make it 2 fish a day. So thank you so much. Okay, so Monique just showed me more or less the area that she wants to reposition a rod to. So I'm gonna go check there. I have an idea where I want to put it. So let's go check. It's not too far out. She also gave me a prescribed bait mix. So her hook bait choice was a ready tied rig with a size 4 brute hook or size 6 brute hook with a sweet corn tiger with a cut down white citrus pop-up. So let's get this all towards her area where she would like it, and hopefully we can bag one. So I want to be just on the top of this riverbed, because on that bottom it's very soft. Just want to be on a hard spot so I can make sure that my rig is presented well. Let's try and get it in there. So, and there we go. Let me just turn around. 2.3. Oh, nice and hard. There's the particle mix here. Normal particle mix. Nick also just wanted some parabay with. So those that know Papgooi will all know the parabay, the flavor parabay. So just spread it around there. Quite a bit more than I would usually feed. But that's what she asked for. And let's see if her tactic can produce a big one. So I was just busy sitting next to the fire, just chilling with a brandy and coke, and my dad literally just pointed out, just like, he asked me, whose rod is this? And just as I said mine, the rod ripped off. So I'm guessing that's good luck. So let's see what it is. This is our first bite this time of the day, so hopefully we can get it in, and hopefully it's a nice big fat carp. Doesn't feel like the biggest fish in the world. I'm just so happy to have got a run. This is the same spot that I caught the 40 on. So let's see if it'll do something nice again. The fish is just here in front now. Had to move up a bit so it went underneath one of my other lines. Luckily it went only once and not around it again, so I can quickly just get underneath the other rod. The nice thing about having the tips in the air, it's a lot easier to maneuver around them. But it's just in front, so let me probably just focus on getting this fish in. Oh, it's a nice fish. Very nice. Stop. Alright.
You didn't feel PV bit to it.
Let's get the hook out. I usually prefer to get the hook out in the net, because you don't have to travel with the fish with the hook in its mouth, because that's usually when mouth damage occurs. So just try and get the hook out in the net, then don't have to worry about that later on. So here's the hook bait. It's a long shank twister, 2 tiger nuts, pink fake maize. Did the trick. Exact same bait that I caught the previous 40 on as well. And by the looks of it, this one is going to be close. Oh, about that. Once again, a new PB, 19.25 kilos, just over 42 pounds. What an absolute unit. First one for this time of the day, just before it got dark, just after my dad said, whose rod is that, and it ripped off. Initially I thought it was going to be a small fish. I'm well chuffed with this one. A stunning fish. Really happy to have had this, especially with my family and Monique being here. Such an amazing experience. So thank you for making it a trip worthwhile. So the next morning I could finally get my rod back in the water, as the caretaker came around the previous day to tell me that I'm not allowed to be on the water with the boat at night. So at first light I got my rig back on the spot, full of confidence for the last 24 hours. Well, good morning. It's our final full day. So I thought I just want to take some time to show you the feed that I've been using. Everything, as you can see, is still in the pot. There's not much in there because I prefer to make small batches at a time, just to make sure that everything stays fresh. Because the last thing I want is to put in sour particles, so I'd rather just cook everything here. So in here I have buckwheat, hemp seed, standard tiger nuts, and some double XL tigers. And to that I just add quite a bit of hemp seed oil and some tiger nut extract. And I find that those two liquids really do complement the particle mix, as the tiger nut extract also helps the rest of the tigers release all its natural sugars, and that's exactly what you want, to get all those natural sugars out into the water. And that's the mix. Very simple, very easy to put together. And later in the day, I think this evening probably, I'll give you a quick rundown of the rigs that I've been using to great success for this session. Okay, so my parents went exploring for the day. Not sure where they're going, but I did give them a camera, so let's see what they are getting up to. As they were exploring, I was starting to get itchy feet and decided to move a rod to an area where Monique saw a fish show. While the storm rolls in, let me show you how to tie my favorite big carp rig. You will need a length of fluorocarbon, coated braid, a hook ring, string tubing, Klingon putty and a pair of scissors. Take 15 centimeters of the coated braid and strip the coating. Tie a small loop into the braid. Tie your hook ring approximately 3 centimeters from the tip of the loop. This length will depend on the size of your bait. Slide the hook ring over the point of the hook and thread the braid through the back of the eye. Line the hook ring up with the barb of the hook and fold over the tag end of the braid. Take approximately 30 centimeters of fluorocarbon and thread it through from the front to the back of the eye. Complete a 4-turn knotless knot and cut off the tag ends. Slide over 1 centimeter of the string tubing until it covers the entire knot. Shrink the tubing in some boiling water. Add a small piece of putty to keep everything pinned down. Tie a loop knot into the end of the rig and snip off the tag end. Now all you need to do is slide on your hook bait and the rig is ready to use. Okay babe, so will you come fishing with me again for a week?
No.
Okay, but technically this wasn't even a week.
Yeah, but it was enough.
What's the difference between sitting here and sitting at home?
Well, first of all, at home, I'm dry under an actual roof.
But this is a roof. Just some water.
It's leaking a bit, but it's, you know, it's okay.
See?
It's covered.
And it's fun. You caught a big fish.
No, I didn't.
30 pounds is a big fish.
It's okay.
I didn't catch one 30-pound last year.
And now you caught a 40 pound.
Yeah, no, I got 2.
Oh yeah. I can enjoy it like once or twice a year, but other than that, it's not for me.
What about overnight sessions?
No. You go once a week. Do you really think I would want to go once a week and do this?
Okay. What about overnight sessions at Aqua?
No, maybe once in a couple months, yeah.
Okay, so once a month.
No, not once a month, once every couple of months.
We'll talk about it later.
This was my idea, this fishing trip. Should be thankful.
Okay, donkey. Donkey.
Dit is 'n plesier. It was fun. I mean, I don't regret coming here.
Okay.
5 days is a long time.
It's only 5 days technically, because we got here Friday evening. So it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It's like 4 days.
Yeah, it's 2 days too many. But it's not pleasant. Look at all the mud.
Just wear the right clothing.
Oh, okay. Well, buy me some. Maybe I'll come fishing more.
You just said you're not going to go fishing. You're not going to buy fishing stuff. You're not going to go fishing.
Maybe if I had the right gear, I'd go fishing more. Okay, case closed. I win.
Yeah.
It's been raining the whole night and it's still drizzling a bit and everything is wet. Everything. Chairs, everything. Water got in here. Dog's pillow is wet. So gonna have to start packing up. And everything's going to be packed up, soaking wet.
Okay, so this is not what we want to catch. A little catfish, our first one of the session actually, just as we were packing up. And unfortunately, it fell to my dad's rod. But technically this mini didn't blank, even though it's not a carp. Ugly little fella. So.
And just like that, our trip came to an end, with some awesome memories made and good times I'll never forget. See you next time. Cheers.